While in South Korea, it is impossible to ignore the growth and progress the country has made in the past 50 years. Since there's been so much change in the country with globalization and with it, modernization, filial piety is again finding its footing in society. Filial piety, which is called hyoro in Korean, is defined as the important virtue and primary duty of respect, obedience, and care for one's parents and elderly family members. In Korea, the ideal has been taught to children and youngsters as part of morality education for thousands of years. Modern families still find ways to pay respects to their elders, but the way that it's demonstrated has changed to reflect the demands of modern times. Today, filial piety is most clearly seen on public transit. On the train or bus, you will see a clear separation of young people standing and older people sitting. It is expected that an older person would be given a seat over someone younger. This can be seen regularly practiced in Korean film.
야, 너 얼른 안 일어나? 노인네한테 잘 양보해야지.
आंटी जी आप यहाँ बैठे हो
अरे नहीं बेटा तुम बैठो
मुझे नहीं बैठना
In
आप
Korean
प्लीज यहाँ
film, there
बैठो
seems to be conflict between individualism and traditional collectivism. Often there will be consequences for characters that do not fulfill their filial roles. In the 2006 film The Host, the main character is a father who does not fulfill his filial role. In result, both his father and his daughter suffer the consequences of his failure. This is very common in Korean filmmaking. When the characters break away from Confucian ideals, there is conflict, therefore alluding to the idea that filial piety is necessary in a working society. While in Korean film and culture, filial piety seems to be strongly promoted and rewarded, in reality, modern-day life has seemed to let this tradition fall to the wayside.
The elderly suicide rate here is the highest among developed nations. This is the generation that helped rebuild the economy from the ruins of the Korean War. Now, about half of South Korea's elderly live in relative poverty. Pastor Chae Song-won runs this mobile soup kitchen every Saturday. He blames the problems on the slowing economy. And he says the old social structure where children look after their aging parents has broken down. I think there's a growing number of homeless elders because sons and daughters and our government are not taking good care of them, he says. South Korea has only had a pension system for less than 3 decades. The government says because of that, some are being left behind.
Last year, more benefits were extended to the poorest of South Korea's elderly, but they still only receive under $200 per month. And many agree that's simply not enough.
Although this may seem bleak, there is hope for the future. With globalization and changing societal structures, there will hopefully also be reform. And while traditional Confucianism may have faded, the idea of treating others honorably will be carried on for generations to come.